Hey Raider Nation, are you ready for another update on the Las Vegas Raiders? So come on in, sit back and pay attention because today's video is unmissable. And if this is your first time here on the channel, take advantage and subscribe right now. That way you won't miss any news, any action, and you'll always be up to date with everything. Here, information arrives quickly, and of course, click the like button. This really helps the channel to continue growing and keeping up this solid work, bringing you quality content every day. Thanks for your continued support, really. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to the point, because today's news will surprise even the most hardcore fans. The atmosphere at the Raiders training center is starting to heat up. And it's not just because of the Las Vegas sun. Rookie Ashton Jeanty is already attracting attention before he even officially sets foot on the field. Coming with great expectations from the NFL and the Raiders themselves, the running back arrives as a possible answer to a problem that has haunted the team in 2024, the total lack of a productive ground game. Last year, the Raiders struggled to move the chains running the ball, which forced the offense to become one-dimensional. The result? Predictability, stagnation, and many painful losses. But now, with Jeanty on the roster, the hope is clear. To change this narrative. And one of the first to bet everything on Jeanty's success is precisely someone who will be a key piece for him to shine on the field. We are talking about center Jackson Powers Johnson, the Raiders' second-round pick in the last draft. As soon as Jeanty arrived at the Intermountain Health Performance Center for the rookie minicamp, it was Powers Johnson who welcomed him with open arms. Literally. For many, it may seem like a simple welcome gesture, but within the NFL culture, this type of connection between running back and offensive line can be the difference between a solid season and a disaster. And in this case, the connection has been in the making since day one. Powers Johnson was full of praise when talking about his new backfield partner. In an interview with JT the Brick, he described Jeanty enthusiastically. Everything they're saying about this guy is true. He's a ball of muscle. When I hugged him, it felt like I was touching pure metal. The center also highlighted the running back's agility, speed, and fun style of play, something that, according to him, makes him even more dangerous on the field. But what caught the most attention was a detail that is rare to hear from an offensive lineman. He loves to block. That's every OL's dream. Yes, Jeanty doesn't shy away from contact. On the contrary, he seeks out the collision, a trait that sets him apart and can make him a real nightmare for opposing defenses. Now, with two young talents, hungry for success and determined to grow alongside each other, the Raiders may finally be building a new offensive pillar. Jeanty, with his explosive strength and aggressive mentality, promises to carry the team in decisive moments. And Powers Johnson, with his precocious leadership and desire to protect the new running back at all costs, presents himself as the shield that can lead the way. Together, they are not just isolated pieces. They are part of a new core that can transform the team's offensive identity in the years to come. And for Raiders fans yearning for an era of relevance, this duo is a breath of real hope. The Las Vegas Raiders are facing a major defensive dilemma. After losing their two starting linebackers, Divine Diablo to the Atlanta Falcons and Robert Spillane to the New England Patriots, the team found itself facing a huge hole in the heart of its defense. Both players were key players, especially Spillane, who became a silent leader of the unit and ensured solidity in the containment plays. Without them, new general manager John Spytek had to act quickly to keep the defense from falling apart. And he did, bringing in well-known names, but surrounded by doubts. The main player brought in to command the core of the defense is Elandon Roberts, formerly of the Steelers. A veteran who is not afraid of contact and lives up to the statistics. In 2 seasons with Pittsburgh, he totaled 147 tackles, 15 of them for loss of yards, pressured the quarterback 10 times, forced fumbles, and also managed 3.5 sacks. Those numbers show that Roberts has gas in the tank and delivers. Exactly the kind of player defensive coordinator Patrick Graham values. But Graham's scheme requires 2 reliable linebackers. And that's where the biggest question mark of the Raiders' offseason comes in. To pair with Roberts, the team gambled on 2 well-known names who arrive with question marks: Devin White and Jaylon Smith. Both were once highly rated. White was a top 10 draft pick and Smith a second-round pick, but their careers have taken very different paths than expected. White, a champion with the Bucs, showed flashes of elite performance but also a lot of inconsistency, especially in coverage and play recognition. His request for a trade from Tampa Bay, after frustrations with the lack of a contract extension, showed his discontent, and perhaps the reason for his recent decline. Jalen Smith, on the other hand, is almost a story of overcoming. His serious knee injury while still in college kept him out of the draft for a while and delayed his rise. Even so, he shone early in his career with the Cowboys and became one of the most respected linebackers in the league. But time passed, injuries piled up, and he became just a shadow of his former self. In 2023, he had a brief stint with the Raiders themselves, but appeared in just one game, and did not play professionally in 2024. The expectation that he will be able to contribute at a high level next season borders on utopia, and that is precisely the big question mark for the 2025 season. Can White or Smith really hold their own alongside Roberts? Both have talent. That is undeniable. But consistency, physical conditioning, and confidence are crucial factors, and all are lacking. If neither of them can establish themselves as a starter, the Raiders could end up with one of the worst linebacker duos in the league, precisely in a system that demands intelligence and aggression in the center of the defense. With these uncertainties, it's possible that the Raiders' defensive line will have to carry most of the weight, compensating for the shortcomings at the second level, and if that's not enough, the defense could suffer, especially against offenses that exploit the middle zone of the field well. For a team that dreams of the playoffs, the lack of solidity at linebacker could be the Achilles heel, and put even more pressure on the board, which bet big on discredited veterans instead of looking for young solutions in the draft. Now, I want to know from you guys, do you think Devin White or Jalen Smith still have the football to perform as starters in 2025? Leave your thoughts on these signings in the comments. Could any of them still surprise? And if you liked the video, like it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. See you soon.